Hello, you're welcome to the channel. Today we continue with part 2 of our relationship goals series from the book The Relationship Goals by Michael Todd. And today we are going to explore the areas of recreational dating, intentional friendships, dating deficit, and many more. And so kindly sit with me, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. Please like this video and let's get into it. The first thing I want us to discuss is intentional dating versus recreational dating. The author says whatever your relationship goals are, you are not going to reach them by trying what most single people do. That is recreational dating. Instead, you have to try what he calls intentional dating. Recreational dating is dating that is focused on having fun and getting experiences, while intentional dating is purposeful. He says intentional dating is about fun too, but it preserves purity. This type of dating is goal-driven, in that whoever you are with, you are trying to determine whether the person is right for you to marry them. So this type of dating is with the right person in the right way at the right time. He says recreational dating is like I'll date him and I'll date him and I'll date him, or the other way, I'll date her and I'll date her and I'll date her. It's usually, so many other things, too much drama, too much complication, short-term relationships, hookups, just those kind of things. They can meet the two of you and be like, okay, so what do you see yourself in the future? Like, maybe we'll get married, we are just there, let's see what happens, those kind of things. So there's no purpose in the relationship, there's no focus, you are just there. You are just there because you are there. He says this type of relationship can be devastating. You can possibly be the right person, but you meet somebody with the wrong mindset of dating where they just want to have fun, and you are investing your time and your effort into this, and the person doesn't really care, the person doesn't want any commitment, they are just there. How long will you keep investing your time and effort and energy into these things? It can affect you in so many ways. He says recreational dating doesn't work. Sometimes this dating couple, they are sleeping together, they are eating together, they are doing things together. They know whatever they are doing is not right, but they feel like they have invested so much time in it already that they can't go back to go and start somewhere else. Some people will be like, I'm tired of telling people what my favorite color is and my favorite food is. I cannot. And so they will rather stick with whoever it is, even though they don't see a clear future of where this relationship is going into. And so he's saying that sometimes you meet someone and ask, so how long have you been dating this person? And the person says, oh, we've been dating for 15 years. And he's like, what? 15 years? Those kind of things. And so he says dating is not a destination. Dating is not supposed to be a place where you go and sit there and that is it. You have been dating for 15 years. What next? Dating is supposed to be a transportation. It's supposed to lead you into marriage. It's supposed to lead you into marriage, which is kind of the destination and not dating. So at a point in time, if you are dating someone and it's too long and there's no purpose, you have to start asking questions. And so he says that recreational dating usually leaves you dating deficit because there's so much trauma and there's just so much pain involved in it. And so he's encouraging everybody, especially if you are still single, to practice intentional dating. And you can only practice intentional dating by the second point I want to discuss, which is intentional friendships. So intentional friendship is not really dating, but it's more than a friendship. It's a kind of friendship where two people probably see each other and they kind of like each other, but they are not going straight into dating. They want to get to know each other as a friends intentionally. So this is more than just having a normal friend. And so there are ways in which you talk. I think that is what we usually refer to in Ghana as talking stage. You are not dating the person, but you want to intentionally know the person to see if you are compatible or not. And so he says these are 3 ways in which you can practice this intentional dating and actually also get out of this dating deficit. The first is discussing your relationship fears. He says with this, you write down 3 of your greatest fears of being in a relationship and share it with each other. And so yours might be you don't want to get too physical in the relationship. Another own must be that they don't want their hopes to be high only for it to get ruined. Or another person can be, I don't want to share my secret with you for it to go and be sharing with your friends. And so with this, you know each other's expectation before you get into any kind of commitment already. And this vulnerability provides accountability later on if this decides to move into a dating relationship and even marriage, because you know the kind of things they value and you will try as much as possible to try to help them keep those values. The second is to agree on boundaries. What is a no-go area for you? Discuss this with this person. Maybe yours is you don't want to hug somebody for more than 30 seconds. Let them know. You are discussing these things so that the person will know whether they'll be able to cope with it or not. If it's something they can't, then you are not even getting into a relationship for things to happen and each person or one person will be hit. And so you are discussing clear boundaries with this person, and the person will know what things you can deal with, what things you cannot deal with. Would they be able to deal with that? Yes, okay, no, and all of that, and you move forward. The third is to have focused conversations, and he says sometimes it can be difficult to have well-meaning conversations when you are just getting to know someone, and so he encourages that you can read a relationship book together and have discussions, and with that kind of discussions you'll be having, you get to know whether this person is the right person for you. And so he says you can start with reading Gary Chapman's 5 Languages of Love, in which I have made a video about it. I'll link it somewhere here after that you can go and watch it. But with these love languages, you get to know, is this person's love language gifts? If the person's love language is gifts, receiving gifts, that means if you're dating this person, once in a while you have to open your wallet to buy them gifts, right? If another person's love language is physical touch and yours is something else, and you have to come up with boundaries so that you don't end up doing things you don't want to do. And so having meaningful conversations or deciding to read books together or even listen to podcasts or attending seminars together, which you get to know each other and you see whether you are compatible or the person is right for you or not. Another important thing he talks about is he encourages people to pay attention to people's patterns and not potential. All of us have potential on trying to work on our weak areas, and sometimes I've heard somebody say that people who look like it don't become it. And so it goes beyond potential, just looking at somebody and thinking, this person looks like he'll be a good husband, this person looks like they'll be a good wife. What are the patterns in their life? Over the past 5 years, what have they been doing with their life? What are the traceable things you can do? Because that's the things they will repeatedly do. Will you be able to live with their patterns? Because the potentials might never come. People look like it and they don't become it. And so he encourages that look at the patterns over potential. The last thing I want us to discuss is something he poses as a question, which says, does it need to end? He says probably you've been dating someone for a while and you have realized that you have had certain conversations or things have been unveiled about him or even about yourself that you're beginning to question the state of this relationship. He says one thing you should remember is that never ever let someone get into the way of your purpose. If you think that being with this person gets into the way of the plans and purpose or things you have been called to do, sometimes quitters do win. Quitting this relationship actually means you are winning. And so he says that certain breaking up conversations need to be hard. It might be painful, but it's a time for you to win. And he says that to think about this, sometimes when God wants to bless you, he brings people into your life. And sometimes when the devil wants to distract you, he also brings people into your life. It's left onto you to be able to discern and decipher enough to know whoever is supposed to be a blessing or who is a distraction. So he says some relationships in your life are more of liabilities than assets. They are taking away things from you rather than depositing things into you. They are taking away your peace, taking away your joy, taking away your time. Things that you lose that you could never get. And so there are things you are supposed to sit down and reflect and think upon it. And so this is the part 2 of the relationship goals series. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Get the book and get reading into it. There are so many nuggets you learn from this incredible book concerning relationships and singleness and marriage and even divorce. And so I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, share this video with somebody, and I'll see you later. Bye.